going. There we go. All right. So then find the position that feels best in your body for sitting. And then as you let your hands come to rest, choose palms up or down. It's your choice. Palms down brings a little more grounding, and palms up brings a little bit more energy. So you decide what that looks like. With eyes opened or closed, take a couple of deep breaths to enable more length through your spine, to enable that ability to sense and feel the connection you have with the ground. As you take your inhales and exhales, tune into the sensations that are showing up in your body. Tune into maybe thoughts showing up in your mind. And give yourself that permission to show yourself a lot of compassion today. With hands coming to connect at heart center. Gently press your palms together and lift even higher through your ribs and your collarbones. On your exhale, bow toward your heart, tucking your chin in. And softly allowing your eyes to open and releasing your hands down. Walk your hands out to your knees or out your thighs a little ways. And take a couple of rounds here of cat and cow, moving gently and slowly through your spine, allowing that movement to match the breath. Inhaling belly and heart forward, and exhaling press back through the spine. And as you take these movements, take in the details, take in any sensations, any stiffness, any tension, whatever's there. One more big breath here. Then as you sit tall, left fingertips come to the floor beside you. Reach your right arm up and over your ear if that feels good. And then as you work your way into a side stretch, notice your right sitting bone. Notice that planting of the sitting bone. And as you plant it maybe even a little more firmly, push with your hand on the ground and expand your ribs more. Full big deep breath. And now staying in this side stretch, draw in through the ribs and reach in your diagonal. Reach toward the front left corner of your room or whatever that looks like for you. Take a big breath again and allow more of that stretch through the right side of your back. Then inhale back upright. And then bring right fingertips to the ground. Left arm reaches up and over if that feels okay. And again, you're going to take that side stretch to your degree, to the place where your body is ready to go. Root through your left sitting bone. Press with your right hand and expand into your rib cage just a little bit more. And now pull in through the ribs and round into your upper back. Think of thoracic spine, cat-like pose here. as you reach in the diagonal. Take a full, big, deep inhale and exhale in and out of your nose. Then inhale back upright. Hands come to your legs once again, and this time circular motions through the ribs. Just check out what is showing up. So exhale, round back. Inhale, circle around to the left side, all the way around the front, and exhale back on the right. Inhale, circle to the left. Exhale back on the right. One more in this direction. Inhaling and exhaling. Then inhale, circle to the right side, and exhale back on the left. Inhale, circle around, and exhale, draw back. One more time on this side. Full, long inhale and exhale. Then inhale tall, and you can switch the cross if you're sitting cross-legged. If you're not, don't worry about it. Find your comfortable position or switch to a more comfortable position. Move your sitting bones. And now we're taking hands behind to clasp, to open up maybe a little more through the chest. And as you open up through the chest, if it feels better to have fists at your low back instead, please go there. But lifting through the ribs, the collarbones, opening up through the heart space, hug your elbows back toward each other. If your hands are clasped, try pressing palms toward each other. Take one more big deep inhale, and then exhale, release your hands down and bring your hands in front, and we'll clasp our hands and pull forward now, rounding into the upper back. As you round into the upper back, take a big deep breath. First thing, we'll rock a little side to side to get a little deeper stretch into the side bodies. So shoulders swaying here, if that feels okay. Then back into the center, use your inhales to help you lengthen a little bit more, and exhales maybe to stretch a little further. Then inhale upright, release your arms, roll shoulders back. And roll shoulders forward. And then shoulders up and back, head is lifted. Turn your head over to the right side and then tuck your chin down. And we're reaching the left hand across the back, reaching fingertips toward your right hip. Move your left shoulder further back. Take another exhale and let your chin tuck in just a little bit further. Inhale back upright. Turn your head over to the left side and tuck your chin down. Reach the right arm across your back towards your left hip. Right shoulder is moving back. Take that deeper exhale to enable a little more tucking of the chin. Inhale, come back to center. And now we're going to come forward onto hands and knees. From hands and knees, set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to lift right up into a downward dog. So hips lifting up. As you lift with your hips and push with your hands, take a couple of deep breaths. Feel free to pedal out or sway your hips or whatever movement your body could use to help you feel longer, more spacious. And now you're welcome to use your blocks for support here if you would like, but we're working our feet forward toward our hands, coming into a forward fold at the front of your mat. And from that place, you can have blocks under hands, you can have feet inner hip distance or wider, you choose. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Send your sitting bones up, heart forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. And now inhale, hands up above your knees. With your hands above your knees, with your sitting bones lifting, do a little glute squeeze and walk your way up your legs to rise up all the way. As you come up to your mountain pose, take a look down at your feet. And again, feet inner hip distance or wider. You do not have to keep them at inner hip distance. Turn palms forward and then lift up and back through your shoulders. Eyes can be opened or closed. That's entirely up to you. Take a deep breath. And now inhale, reach arms up overhead. We're gonna hold on to opposite elbows and then lift through the elbows. Think of lifting through the triceps. And then draw shoulder blades further onto your back. Pull in through your low belly, in through your ribs, and then take a side stretch over to the left. From that place, lift your right elbow up a little higher and turn your right ribs more open. Take a deep, full inhale and exhale in and out of your nose. Inhale back upright. Switch how you're holding. And then take your stretch over to the right side. Your left elbow is lifting. Left ribs are opening up. Take one more full deep breath right here. Inhale back upright and release your arms down. Hands come behind your back now to clasp. And as you clasp, if your shoulders feel pretty tight today, then maybe you're making fists at your low back instead. But hug back with elbows. Lift with your front ribs and collarbones, and then control the flaring ribs. Draw them in. Take another full big breath. And then release your hands down. And we're going to take one more shoulder stretch. And this one's a one-sided stretch. So reach your right arm out to the right, plug your shoulder blade in, and then draw it across your body to that point where your shoulder blade feels like it might wing off of your back. And now left arm is pulling your right arm in as close as your body is ready to go, but now let's move the shoulder blade. So up and down with the shoulder blade. And we're avoiding the tilt of the entire torso, just trying to let the shoulder and the shoulder blade do the movement. And then release your arm down. Give your arms a little shake. And then left arm out to the side. Plug your shoulder blade in here. And then as you draw your arm across your body, you're using your right arm to help you draw it in as close as your body needs. And from there, the up and down movement of the shoulder blade. And you can notice for yourself if there's any difference in how much movement your shoulders want to have. Your shoulder blades sometimes get sticky or stuck, but they tend to do that at a different rate. Okay, release the arms down. Inhale, sweep arms wide and up overhead. Exhale, soft knees, hinge at the hips and fold. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. And now you're planting fingertips. Feel free to use blocks here if you would like to. We're stepping right foot back into your lunge. And we're going to take our warrior two stance with our legs. So turn and plant your back foot. And for a moment, rise up into your warrior two. And as you rise up into your warrior two, arms can reach, you can come to gratitude, or you can clasp. Really depends on what you would like to feel through your shoulders today. Take a full big breath as you settle into your front knee. And now we're working front leg towards straight, coming into our triangle legs here. And we're going to come back to this pose in a bit. So first one, Let's take our hand up to our thigh. And you can always come back to this instead of bringing your hand lower if you want to. But shoulder blades are on your back, left hand is at your thigh, and then you're giving a little resistance with your thigh, so not allowing your hand to press it back. Turn your belly and your heart more open, put both shoulder blades on your back, maybe stretch right arm up. From this place with your hand at your thigh, I want you to rotate your thigh, wrapping the outer hip back. And as you wrap the outer hip back, take a look down at your knee and maybe notice a little more rotation of it, a little more turning toward the left side. Then take your gaze wherever you need it to be. Take a full big breath. And now bend into your front knee, bring hands down to your blocks or to the floor. Tuck your back toes and step forward. Next exhale, left foot is stepping back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back foot so your heel is on the ground. Root through your feet and bring yourself up into your warrior two. As you bend into your front knee, also find the position with your arms that feels the best to you today. Take a deep breath. And now work your front leg towards straight. Right hand on thigh. As you extend your heart a little bit further forward, as you hinge a little at your right hip, notice your right thigh and find that wrapping action. Help your thigh wrap and turn, help it rotate. As you rotate it and see your knee turning more to the right side, turn your belly and heart now more to the left. Maybe stretch up. Take a big deep breath. Then root through your feet. Inhale, rise all the way back upright. And now we're going to turn your back toes, bend into your front knee, plant hands, and step forward. As you come into your forward fold now, folding over your legs as deeply as your body is asking for, just take a moment to notice any of the things that might have shown up through our warrior and our triangle pose for sensations. Full, big, deep inhales and exhales in and out of your nose. Send your sitting bones up. And then as you plant fingertips on the ground or your blocks, step your right foot back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back heel. Inhale, lift your torso up into your warrior two. And this time, let's take hands to our hips and work hands further onto your back, further onto more of the middle of your glutes. As you hug back with elbows and engage through low belly and ribs, settle deeper into your front knee. And now work your front leg towards straight. And before we come to our triangle pose, we're going to come to our reversed triangle pose. So lift through your heart, lift your whole rib cage up. And then hands are staying at your low back here as you reverse. Let your torso find that reach back behind a little bit. Take a full big breath. As you stay opening through your shoulders, your head is back in space. Root through both feet. Inhale, rise back up. Now find your hinge at the hips to allow your heart to move more forward. And then you have your choice. You can take your hand back to your thigh like we did before. You can bring your left hand to your block, to your shin, to the floor, wherever it needs to be. And before you focus on turning open, find your left knee turning more to the left. Big toe mound pushing down. Turn your belly and your heart open to the right. And now if you want to, you can stretch up. If you want to, you can take your hand to the back of your head. You decide what would feel the best. You might even come to something more like a cactus arm with a bent elbow. As you inhale and extend your heart further forward, draw And exhale into the ribs to help you pull the ribs in. Now push through your feet, reach through your top hand. Inhale, rise all the way back upright. And now we're tucking the back toes, turning forward into more of our lunging position here. Bend into your front knee. And then set your hands. A little ankle proprioception there that we're focusing on. So from your fingertips on the ground or on your blocks, inhale, step forward. Exhale, step your left foot back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back foot. Push feet down and rise up into your warrior. Find your warrior two place. Hands coming to your hips once again and walk your hands back. Find lots of opening here, lots of expansion through your heart, and then engagement through the core. Work your front leg towards straight. Press down with your hands and find more lift through your ribs. Then as you stretch it back, as you open up through the heart for your reverse triangle pose, also keep your core engaged. Keep your heart lifted, head back. Take one more big breath right here. Push through your feet. Inhale, lift your heart. And now hinge through that front hip and take your right hand where you need it to be or where you want it to be for your triangle pose. Notice your knee turning. Look at it and watch it rotate more toward the right. Push your right big toe mound down and turn your torso more to the left. As you open up and expand into your triangle, remember you can take the variation with your arm that feels the best. Deep, full inhale and exhale in and out of your nose. Whole rib cage moves forward. Tone through those flaring ribs, controlling the core a little bit more. And now push through your feet. Inhale, rise all the way back upright. And here's our ankle proprioception once again. Turning and tucking the back toes, coming into your lunge. And then exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. And you can use blocks for your transition here or hands on the ground to step back. Take your downward facing dog pose. Take some full, big inhales and exhales. In and out of your nose. And we're gonna bring knees down, hips off to one side, legs out to the front. And from footprints on the ground, we're gonna lay all the way down onto our backs. As you come down onto your back, keep footprints on the ground. Hips, shoulders, and head get to settle for a moment as you let your breath deepen. And now we're drawing right knee in toward your chest. Left leg can extend out long or it can stay bent, but we're gonna open right knee to the right side. Aim right foot toward the ceiling. And now we're holding around the thigh, holding the hamstrings on the right leg. Left hand can stay right at your hip if you want. You can always open your arm up to the side if that feels better. But give your right foot a flex. Then create a little resistance. Pull down with your right hand and push back with your hamstrings into your hand. Half happy baby pose here. Take another deep, full inhale and exhale. And then as much as it feels good, work your right leg towards straight. One more time coming into a hamstring stretch here. And then bend your knee, bring your knee in towards your side. Just take a moment with your knee hugging in to take a full breath. And then set right foot on the ground. Draw your left knee in. And once again, you can extend your leg all the way out long and straight if you want to, or you can keep your knee bent. This all can be done with a bent right knee. Turn open with your left knee, aim your foot toward the ceiling, and then hold around your thigh. As you hold around your thigh, create that resistance. Push in and pull back. Take a big, deep breath. And then work your leg as straight as it needs to be today. And now come back to that bent knee place. Hug your knee in toward your side. Take a full big breath. And then set both feet down. And now you have about 30 seconds or so to take any last poses that would feel good right now. If you want to do a little bit more love for the low back, and sometimes pushing hands into the upper thighs is a helpful way to just bring a little bit of extra movement there into the low back. But really any position that would feel good in your body in this moment. Feel free to move with breath or stay more stationary. And then as you're ready to, as you feel complete, find your way into a resting pose that is comfortable, easeful, and shows you a lot of compassion. Bring awareness to your breath. And bring some gentle movement into your fingers and into your toes. As you feel ready to, you can bend knees, roll to your side, and take a moment on your side for a full, long, slow breath. And then gently press into the ground to lift your torso back upright, finding your way back up to your seat. With hands coming to connect at heart center, eyes can be opened or closed, your choice. Take another long, slow breath. Have a very peaceful, beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.